Today I'm working on the Ranger. I noticed that in reverse the front tire would lock up a little bit. Not really sure what's going on. Right now I have the front end jacked up, and when I do this, it's not supposed to do that. You know how bad this is going to suck? It's going to suck. Come on over here and I'll show you. Alright. This little thing right in here. Come on. I went and bought a new tie rod end, is the piece that I was needing. I will show it to you here. Last night I came out, it was too dark to film, but I was able to take out the old tie rod end, which I needed to replace, and I'll show you how bad it was. It's broken on the inside. Okay. And you can see a little paint mark that I put right there, and I'll explain why. I don't know if you guys can see that. Okay. Here's the new tie rod end that I put in, and here's the nut. You can see that I marked it with yellow paint on the old one. I had also marked it with yellow paint, so I knew where my nut, when I started unscrewing, was going to be. So after this nut was turned a full turn away, I knew where I had started, so I turned it one full turn away. Came over here, took the old cotter pin and the old crown nut off. I was then able to use, let's see if we can see this, to use a pickle fork to pry up on this ball joint type thing. I know it's not a ball joint, but the tie rod end, lift up on it. It came up as far as I could get it, and then what I did was just hammered the bottom up the rest of the way out, and then I was able to unscrew the old part from the from the end. Now I have, once I had this far enough turned on there and knew that I had one more turn of my nut left, I left it. Now, I'm to the point now, since I just found my grease gun and some grease, that I'm going to fill the Zerk fitting on top with grease, and this rubber thing here should start to fill in with grease. Okay? This one does. I also found a new tube of grease. So I'm going to use what's left inside this one, because it's the pistol grip one, and I like this one better. Dump it all in there. Start to see that rubber piece that covers it starting to fill with the grease, starting to swell up, which is exactly what we want. And some of it's leaking out, which is okay. At least we know it's full. That's the extra. So now that I've pumped enough grease into here, she's filled with grease. She's still going to ooze out a little bit. I'm going to put the tire back on, take her for a test drive. I didn't get this on camera yesterday, but I just want you to know that I did take the caliper off to check the brakes. Like I said, when I was backing up, they would the tire would lock up. And as you can see, even though the rotor's in a little rough shape and rusted, it's still good. I did take the caliper off both pads, still seem to have a lot of meat left on them. So I'm just going to leave that for now. What we're going to do right now is put the tire on, and we're going to give it a good shake and make sure it doesn't move like it did yesterday. Alright, now that our lug nuts are secure, the tire is still lifted off the ground, which I don't know if you can see through my boo-boo leg. I'm going to try to give this tire a shake like we had before. Not getting any movement out of the tire, or out of the setup, except for maybe just a wiggling on the jack stand. What I'm going to do now is let the tire down, tighten these back up, and go for a test drive. Oh, I also forgot, if your hands ain't a dirty, you ain't a wrenching.